Good morning. Hi, my name is Rick Farr. I'm the project manager for Habitat for Humanity. And I want to thank you this morning for your volunteer time. Without you, our mission would not be possible. We're going to talk about a few safety issues this morning. But before we do that, I need you to sign in our volunteer sign-in sheet and also the volunteer agreement. Safety begins with personal protection. That begins with a hard hat, safety glasses, a respirator, earplugs, and also gloves. Site safety begins with being aware of our surroundings. Take just a moment and take a look around and see if there's any potential trip hazards that you might see. There are over 300,000 reports of injuries each year due to trip hazards. If you'll just be aware of people that are around you, things that they're doing, there might be somebody on the roof or other projects that are going on, be aware of those working around you. Just use common sense. If you see something that looks hazardous, either tell a supervisor or do something about it. There's a lot of things that we can do throughout the day that might prevent accidents later on. To sum up our site safety, we don't want to rush, keep our balance. We want to do the tasks that we're comfortable in doing. Also, ask questions. If you have any issues, concerns, worries, don't hesitate to ask. And also stay focused, and let's be aware of our surroundings. Here at Habitat, your safety is important to us. Let's take a look at some of the safety concerns you might have while working on the job site. When using a stepladder, it's important to notice the danger labels on the ladder. It's important not to stand on or above the warning labels. It's obvious here someone has identified this hazard as being a trip hazard. They've placed boards across here but have not eliminated the hazard. What should be done, these boards replaced by a properly fitted board as to totally eliminate our hazard. Here's a good example of a trip hazard. Someone has left a nail in the piece of plywood just directly outside this sliding glass door. Someone could easily come along here and either trip into this glass door, or if they're coming from the inside of the house, they could easily trip off of the deck or into the support system. So we want to eliminate the trip hazard by taking the time, pulling these nails, therefore eliminating our trip hazard. So here's another potential hazard. Obviously, a worker has been working over his head and has left the area and left the tool up above our heads here. The proper way to do this is when you come off the ladder is bring the tool with you, put it gently down on the ground so it's not a potential hazard to others. Here's an example of someone leaning a level up on a stud. We have two potentials here. One, it could fall off and hit somebody in the head, or number two, it could fall off and hit the ground and damage our equipment. Simple things like retracting the blade on a utility knife in between uses can reduce the possibility of injuries. When cutting material, it's important that your material that you're cutting is firm and steadfast. It doesn't move around. Teamwork is a valuable component to performing a number of tasks on the job site, so don't be afraid or embarrassed to ask for help. When you're cutting, a good rule of thumb is to always cut outside your sawhorses. Don't cut inside the sawhorses because the material will end up collapsing on itself and causing a pinching action to the saw, which will also cause the saw to kick back at you.